I was in the middle of working on the next How Cucked is Canada part when I found out that Count Dankula had actually been convicted in his court case. For those of you who don't know, he taught his girlfriend's pug to do a Hitler salute as a way to annoy her. He made a video out of it, and now he's being charged under, what is it? Is it the Communications Act of 2003? For grossly offensive speech. I'm sure you guys don't need to be told how ridiculous this actually is. But today he was found guilty, and the judge said, okay, come back in an hour and I'm going to sentence you to whatever prison length or whatever punishment I'm going to meter out. And an hour later they go back into the courtroom, and the judge says, oh, hold on, I've changed my mind. Come back in a month. So he has to wait another month. At this point, it's pretty obvious that the judge is just fucking with him. He's just trying to punish Dankula as much as he can, presumably because he's an activist of some sort. But it was also mentioned that the judge needed to collect pre-sentence reports. Now, I'm not sure about the UK, but in Canada, pre-sentence reports basically refer to reports on the investigation of the history of somebody who's been convicted of a crime, just to see if there are any extenuating circumstances which may raise or lower the sentence. Considering how much of an activist the judge seems to be, and how long they've been dragging this out, they may be looking for ways to give Dankula a harsher sentence. But there's also the hope that they may be looking to simply just give him time served. And time served means that, yes, you're guilty, but you're not going to be punished, which frankly should be what the judge comes back with in this case, because prosecuting and convicting somebody for a joke is fucking ridiculous. I'll include the reports from Tommy Robinson outside of the courtroom at the end of this video, guys. Just keep watching to hear it from his own mouth. Thanks, guys. Let's hope that Dankula gets out of this one. I love you.
Count Dankula's just been convicted. He's been found guilty of causing, under the Communications Act, of being grossly offensive. That's right. It's a crime to be grossly offensive. He'll be sentenced at 2 o'clock. I'd rather just spiel on what I think. In the fact that what he's been convicted of is telling a joke. Is a joke. He's been convicted. The judge did not accept, the judge did not believe that it would simply to annoy his girlfriend. The judge believed he purposely intended to cause mass offence. That's his purpose thing. Where in reality, if he did want to cause mass offence, who cares? Sure, we're not allowed to offend people. You can joke about the Irish. You can joke about the English. You can joke about anything. But what we found out under... He said, let me go back to what he said. He said that it was grossly offensive. He's been convicted of it being grossly offensive. 3 million people watched that video. Not one person made a complaint. 3 million people watched the video, not one person made a complaint. It couldn't have been that grossly offensive. People couldn't have, and in context, it was a joke. But right now he's facing prison.
Some of the leaders of the Jewish communities as well said that they were really upset about it, and they had a lot of...
Not one person made a complaint. Not one person made a complaint. He didn't make a complaint. The one person that they got a statement of is the Scottish Police hate crime representative. They went to him. Not one person made a complaint.
The judge said you have to keep in mind reasonable enlightenment of a multiracial society.
Yeah, the judge said you have to keep in mind the reasonable enlightenment of a multiracial society. So as we become more diverse and more multicultural, you can't speak. Okay? You cannot joke. You certainly cannot offend.
The description of it being a joke is not a magic wand.
Yeah, but comedians joke about this stuff. Comedians joke every day. Comedians joke on TV shows. Comedians joke at theatres. It's a joke. It's a joke. It doesn't matter that it's a joke, no. It does not matter that it's a joke. I can't believe listening to that judge. How anyone can't watch it and see that it's a joke. When you go through the man's history, you can see he's got no Nazi past. He's not a racist. He's a self-admitting communist. He's told you that himself.
Part of the reason it was offensive was the fact that he uploaded the video and edited it, and it took him 3 days to put the video together. That's why it's offensive.
He said he should have taken the video down.
And he should have, yeah, once he realised the video was offensive, he should have taken it down.
Repetition of the photograph.
It's part of our right not to offend people.
So he said he didn't believe that it was...
Part of our right not to offend people.
Concluded the video was threatening.
Yeah, the video is threatening because apparently seeing a little dog lift its paw up under the command gas the Jews would scare people.
So once again, for people just joining, what's the verdict?
People just joining, the verdict is that Count Dankula has been convicted and found guilty under the Communications Act of being grossly offensive. He will be sentenced at 2 o'clock. He will go back in the sentence 2 o'clock, where he could be sent to prison. And if you care about free speech, if you care about your rights, if you care about people who are free to joke, if you told a joke about the Irish, you wouldn't go to jail. You certainly wouldn't be convicted under the Communications Act. Anyway, I hope there's lots of Jewish people that watch this afterwards and are as offended at the fact that a man's been convicted for a joke video. If that's David Baddiel, it come out in court that David Baddiel, who's one of the most famous Jews in Britain, he's the Jewish comedian, he has come out in support of Count Dankula as how ridiculous this court trial is. What this court trial is, I don't even believe, is about the fact that Jews are offended. What this is about is implementing laws that silence people and stop people talking, joking, criticising and having speech. That's what this is about, in my opinion. Yes. And think about this. We've had a man who made a joke video. He made a joke video. He's come to court, he's been convicted. We have a Quds march every single year through our capital city. We have Hezbollah flags, which are terrorist organisations' flags. We have hate preacher after hate preacher after hate preacher across this country I'm in right now who are anti-Semitic on a daily basis in their sermons, in their mosques. They're not being convicted, they're not being dragged to court on hate speech. This is very selective in who they prosecute. It's selective, and this is done to send a message to people to say shut up speaking, shut up criticising and shut up joking when it comes to our multiracial, diverse community that we now have. And the sentence is at 2 o'clock. So at 2 o'clock we'll be going back in there. He's there. Do you know what? It was quite emotional to watch because even before the conviction was read out, his partner's holding her hand, and I know what that's like. I know what it's like for his missus. I know what it's like for his mum. His mum's now getting a phone call saying he's been convicted. They're all panicking and worrying that the man's going to go to jail because he made a joke video. He made a video that was a joke. I'll tell you what, our laws are a joke.
So once again, what was the verdict?
The verdict was he's been found guilty under the Communications Act of being grossly offensive.
You mentioned that they mentioned freedom of speech, but they say
Yeah, they mentioned freedom of speech, but said that there's no argument to it because he was offensive to a specific minority. How many of you people are offended? How many of you people are grossly offended when you see sermons by hate preachers or you see what they're saying? That doesn't matter though. Oh, stop, get out of my face, I'm going to go on a proper rant. So from sentencing him at 2 o'clock, the judge has now changed his mind to sentence him, and he's been given bail until the 23rd of April, St George's Day. He's back in on the 23rd of April where he'll be sentenced, which is, some people say a good thing, some people say a bad thing. He's now got a month of worry. The nightmare for Count Dankula continues. The stress, the worry, the fear, the concern, the everlasting clouds hanging over his head for a joke continues. And the reason is that they want the equivalent in the UK of pre-sentence reports. To me, I'd say that the judge wants to send him to prison and he needs pre-sentence reports to do that. We will be, providing there's legalities that we can, we will be sitting down with Count Dankula tonight, this afternoon, and bringing you an exclusive interview about his feelings, about what's just happened. This is an attack on free speech again. I'm gutted. Gutted. You can see the worry on his missus' face. You can see the fear in her face. And now he's got a month. Not another month. He's had 2 years this hanging over his head. Now he's got another month.